Hello and welcome to the Alt F4 Week in Review for week 48, November 28th through December 2nd, 2022. This is the post Thanksgiving week, and so shaking the cobwebs off here. But on Monday, I started off with a podcast about freedom and a freedom index. I found this resource about a year ago by the Cato Institute of Freedom, and they have a whole slew of parameters that they have put together that they measure each state by and compare and contrast each state for a total index. Now, I'm of course primarily interested in Oregon, my current state, and whatever my next state's going to be. Um, but I did find a very interesting trend over the last 15 years, which I won't spoil here in this week in review. If you listen to my podcast, you'll find out about it. On Tuesday, I had a review of Self-Reliance magazine. Now, it's not my intent to review Self-Reliance each time that I read it, but this time I ran across some things that were either serendipitous or sort of revolutionary to me, and so I thought that I would comment on them. Now, I'm talking about learning how to weld, and ironically, my dad's welder, the same model that's in the article, is in my shop, and I don't know how to weld. And there's some very good tips on frugality and using all of your harvest. I know it's well past harvest time for me, but regardless. And then there was something on tomato seed saving, which was what I wrote about on Wednesday. So if you'll recall from my blog, I had one plant that survived under the grow lights to go outside. My intent with that plant was to harvest the fruit on it and then pull the seeds out and propagate it this time of year. Unfortunately, I didn't get a lot of fruit, so the ones that I did get, those were the ones I was picking. And the one I had, the one that I was going to take seeds out of, didn't have any seeds in it, or at least I couldn't find any seeds in it. So I only got probably 2 or 3 tomatoes. So it's I don't have a lot to judge, how well the seed production actually was on it. But regardless, I failed at that, and I want to say that not everything I'm going to do is going to be successful, but there's always next year. So on Thursday, I wrote the case for having an outside cat, and while I was woodworking in the shop during Thanksgiving weekend, I looked outside and I saw my cat had killed a rat. And so I just thought it was worth sort of mentioning. I know there's several camps. There's one camp that says never leave your cat out because of, you know, issues. I'm not going to get into the debate. You can read about it. But I think killing rats outside is a good thing and a good reason to have a cat. So that's why I wrote about it. Finally, on Friday, we have Atlas Shrugged, Part 3, Chapter 2. And this is where Dabney spends a month in Galt's Gulch getting reacquainted with some of her old friends. Um, the direction I took it this week was really about happiness. And, you can be successful and unhappy, but to really be happy, you need to enjoy what you're doing. And so I wrote pretty extensively this week about happiness and sort of relating it to that particular chapter. But you can read that to find out more about that. So anyway, this is Brandon with Alt F4, and remember to end your programming, do things that matter. We'll see you next week.